I discovered that way back in the 1930s, in 1938, when the Third Reich was just getting rolling, that there was a German engineer by the name of Hermann Kemper who took out Reichspatents for this. And I have them. I have the old German patents. Back in the 1930s, he was given patents for a supersonic, underground, maglev tube train shuttle that the Nazis were planning to build way back in the 30s and 40s. And this actually appeared in the German popular press. Not only did this man get official government patents from the Third Reich, but he also was written up in the popular press of the day, and he actively researched it, including during World War II. And the research continued after the war, was taken over by the British and the Germans themselves, and to a lesser degree, at least officially, the Americans. Not only that, but as of the period 1939 to 1943, he was actively working on trying to engineer a system that would go, and keep in mind this is over half a century ago, 1,200 miles per hour underground through these magnetic levitation tube shuttle trains. The idea was you would make a tunnel underground, you would seal it off and evacuate the air so that you would have a pneumatic tunnel, that you could run a train through at high speed, but then you wouldn't have air friction. You wouldn't have friction, which would make it much more efficient. You wouldn't have to worry about heating up the train from friction, like the space shuttle has to worry about when it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere, because you'd be moving at a very high rate of speed. And it'd be so much more efficient, and you'd get rid of the friction from the rails, because it would be riding on an electromagnetic field. And this guy was, I don't want to say he was way ahead of his time, because German engineering in the 30s and 40s was very good. He thought he could do it. He was working on it, and I think the Nazis thought he could do it too, because the research continued right through the war. And of course, since the Americans were scouring Germany for German technology, engineers, scientists, and since this guy had official patents, since he had a laboratory and was working on this during the war, and since it was written up and openly in the German popular press in the late 1930s, I'm more than certain that the Project Paperclip guys would have gone looking for this. They certainly were aware of it. It was out there. So did they bring Hermann Kemper to the United States? I can't tell you they did, because I don't have any documentation of that yet. However, he died in 1971. He did not disappear after World War II. He was in public circulation. He had a life and a career after the war. It would be my guess that he was either, if he was not brought to the United States under paperclip, it would be my guess that he would have been extensively debriefed by the military occupying authorities, American understood. Now, it's interesting to me that exactly the same type of system that Hermann Kemper was working on before and during World War II pops up in the United States 30 or 40 years later in rumor fashion, just out there, so to speak, and people talking about it as if it exists, which leads me to wonder if the system that the Nazis intended to build was not in fact built here instead after World War II, using Nazi technology, plans, technical drawings, and so forth, just transplanted over here under great secrecy and then constructed under a top secret cover. I'm really wondering, I can't tell you that happened, but how very interesting to find plans in 1938, plans and patents in 1937 and 1938 that so very closely resembles. There's almost a 100% correspondence to what is described there and what is rumored to exist in this country, albeit in a very, very secret fashion.